it started to get so bad that I couldn't even breathe. I was literally hyperventilating because I was like and crying at the same time, and I couldn't talk, and I wanted to tell him like thank you for letting me go, but the words couldn't even come out because I couldn't catch my breath. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Nurse Lexi. So I'm kind of just like snuggled up because it's really cold. It's like in the 30s, which is cold for me. So yeah, but anyways, thank you guys so much for clicking on this video and for tuning in. If you're not already subscribed, definitely subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a video. And also follow me on Instagram if you guys are not following me. I put up a lot of stories like my day-to-day, so just go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'll put it down in the comment box below. But today's video is going to be about how to deal with anxiety, stress, and feeling overwhelmed in nursing school, and also how to stay motivated because sometimes it can be really hard to stay motivated. So first of all, I want to say that you're going to be stressed. You might have some anxiety while you're in school. And honestly, this is for college in general because school in general is stressful. But what I've noticed is that like when I was getting my bachelor's before, I would be stressed, but nursing school is like a whole different type of stress. You know, it's just like very demanding, and you have class, you have lab, you have clinicals. There's a lot that you have to do in what seems like a short amount of time, and you have to study so much material. So like my stress in nursing school is like up here, where my stress for my first degree, like my other bachelor's, was like down there. So big difference. I am way more stressed while in nursing school, but it's just all about how you handle it. So I just have a little bit of stuff to talk to you guys about. So as far as stress, I feel like the #1 way to avoid feeling stressed is to prepare. If you are preparing as best as you can, and that goes along with time management, you know, like if you're using your time wisely, if you're studying a little bit every day and not trying to cram right before the test, you know, if you are using your resources wisely, if you are actually listening in lecture and taking it in, or trying to read before lecture so that you can really understand it while you're in lecture. If you're asking questions when you don't understand something, like if you're preparing yourself, that's gonna help with your stress level, you know, because I know for me, I feel stressed when I feel like I'm not in control, you know, or like I don't understand something. So I try to stay as organized as possible. I use my planner like to the T. And I try to study a little bit every day. I mean, I don't study every single day just because sometimes you don't want to study, honestly. But I try to study as much as I can so that before the test comes, I don't feel like I'm cramming in a whole bunch of information. And that does help with my stress level. Another thing that helps me with not feeling so stressed is breaking things up. There are times when I have so much to do. I have to read, I have to take notes for one class, I have to do the same for another class, I have to re-listen to the lecture, I have to do a paper for my online class. Like sometimes there's just so much on your plate that you feel like you can't tackle it because it's so huge, you know what I mean? So I like to just break things up. You know, today I'm gonna read the PowerPoints and take my own notes, and I'm also going to make a Quizlet study set for some pharmacology, and then maybe eat dinner, and then at night I will go ahead and start writing the paper for my online class. So I will literally just like put all that in my planner so that I can see what I need to get done for the day. Because if I just have a list of everything that I need to get done, it's just too overwhelming, and that kind of just discourages me from doing any of it. Like I'll literally look at a super long list and be like, I cannot get all this done. But when I break it up and I make it, you know, into smaller tasks, and I'm able to check things off as I go and feel like I'm getting things done, that motivates me to keep going. So I think that that is super helpful. Like if you feel like you have so much to do, kind of break it up into smaller tasks and then distribute it throughout the day or throughout your week. And then actually check them off as you go so that you know that you're getting somewhere. So it's just not some endless task list, but you're actually checking things off and being productive and getting it done. That helps me a lot. Like I said in the beginning, I use my planner every day I look at my planner. Some people like using their phone as a planner. Do whatever works for you, but just make sure that you are keeping yourself accountable, like you are writing things down, whether it be your phone or your planner, that you can look at it, that you can check things off, cross things off, so that you know that you're getting things done, and so that you're not missing deadlines. If you're like missing deadlines, you're gonna be so stressed and you're gonna feel like you are so out of control. So reducing your stress goes hand in hand with being prepared, organized, and having good time management. Now, it's not easy to have good time management, especially in nursing school. For example, this weekend I had work on Friday from 7 to 7. I had clinicals on Saturday from 6:30 to 5, and then I had clinicals on Sunday from 6:30 to 5. So this whole weekend I really didn't have any time, you know. I really didn't study this weekend, which just shows you that sometimes you just can't study every day. And if I tried to, I knew that I wouldn't even retain the information because I was just exhausted. So use the time that you do have wisely. Those 3 days I didn't study, but today I'm about to study all day. I'm studying all day because I don't have class or work or anything today. So I'm using this day to get everything done. I'm outlining my whole day. I know what I'm doing in the morning. Right now I'm recording, and then after that I'm going to do some lecture notes for 2 chapters, and then I'm going to, you know, eat lunch, and then after that I'm going to start doing work for my online class, and then I'm going to start doing lecture notes for my other class. So I kind of have everything written out in my planner, so I know what I want to get done for today. So don't go so hard on yourself if you know, don't study for a day or two, or if you don't have time, or if you have other things to do, like social things, like maybe you have a baby shower to go to or a family event. Like, don't kill yourself if you can't study every single day. You know, just use the time that you do have more wisely, and you will probably end up still being fine. And that goes right into having a good school work-life balance. That is so important. To reduce your stress and to reduce anxiety, you have to have a balance. I remember someone commented on my study tips video. If you guys haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. It's great. And they were like, you say you don't study every day. That's impossible. I have a test every week. How am I not going to study every day? Well, it's just not healthy if all you're doing and all you're worried about is school. It's just not good for your mental health. Like, we talk about self-care, and we do things like get our nails done, or like do face mask, or take a bath, which are forms of self-care. Like, I love those things. When I have time to do it, I definitely do it. But we need to look at taking care of ourselves as more than just those physical things that we do on the outside. We need to make sure that we are balancing ourselves, that we are not, you know, so stressed and so anxious, or that we don't have support. You know, we need to be assessing our support system and talking to people about our day, talking to people about, you know, what's going on, so that we don't feel like we're doing it all by ourselves. Self-care is so much more than just, you know, Mask Monday. It's so much more than that. Those things are nice. Like I said, you do need them sometimes, like massages, spas. Those things are great, but also make sure that you're looking internally, and that you're looking at your emotions, and that you're looking at, you know, your mental well-being, and that you're making sure that you're taking care of yourself on a deeper level. And that, you know, doing both, doing like the physical self-care and the self-care, that you're really taking a good look at yourself, that is what's going to keep you from being anxious and like having anxiety attacks. And honestly, I only say that because I have never had an anxiety attack until nursing school. I knew that I have like mild anxiety or whatever. I just get stressed really easily. But it's so crazy because I was driving to school one day and I was running late, which you cannot be late to lab. You guys know they will not let you in. I was late. I was like about to be late, so I was driving really fast, and I was driving like really dangerous. Like, I was not driving safe. But in that moment, I didn't even care, because all I cared about was school. I was just like, I need to get to lab. I don't care. Like, I was swerving in and out of lanes, driving crazy. Don't do that, you guys. It's not worth it. So I was doing that, and then I cut off this car, and I didn't care. Obviously, I was just cutting people off. And then it turned out to be an undercover cop, and he surely pulled me right over. And in that moment, I wasn't even scared about getting a ticket. I was more so like, this is going to make me late. And I feel like that's not good, you know? Like, I put so much pressure on myself for school because I feel like it has to work, you know? I feel like this is literally like my second career. So like I can't fail. So that's all the pressure I put on myself, and it's not healthy. So he pulled me over, and he was like, do you know why I pulled you over? I was like, yeah, I was speeding. I was driving like really crazy, blah, blah, blah. I admitted it because I knew what I was doing was wrong. And he was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Your ticket would be this much, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to give you a ticket. And I was like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. But I was like, I started crying, and then he was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna be late for class. I'm really stressed out. And I could not stop crying. It wasn't even like cute tears. It was like Kim K cry. I was like literally like Kim K crying. And it was just so bad. He was like, I'm letting you go. This is good news. You don't have to cry. And it started to get so bad that I couldn't even breathe. I was literally hyperventilating because I was like and crying at the same time, and I couldn't talk, and I wanted to tell him like thank you for letting me go, but the words couldn't even come out because I couldn't catch my breath. And then he was just like, okay, just go to class, but drive safe, you know, stop speeding, just get there safe. And then I couldn't even say thank you. I was crying, I couldn't catch my breath, so I just kept driving to school. And then I called my sister because she's my ride or die, and I couldn't even talk to her, and I was like, should I go to school? Like, should I go to Central Care, just like urgent care? I was like, I can't catch my breath. I was so scared. And I ended up still going. I just drove to school because I was like, whatever, you know, I'm almost there. I'm not gonna be late. I'm gonna make it like right on time. So I'm just gonna get to school. But she was awesome. She was just telling me like, take deep breaths, stop trying to talk to me, try to catch your breath. But it was so hard to catch my breath. I think it took me at least 20 minutes to stop crying and to catch my breath. So I say that all to say, school is stressful, and sometimes we are our own worst enemy because we put so much pressure on ourselves, and that's not healthy. You know, I don't want to ever feel that way. I don't ever want to feel like I can't breathe, I can't catch my breath because I'm so scared of being late to lab, you know, because I feel like if I'm late to lab, it's the end of the world, I'm gonna fail. You know, like that stuff is not healthy. It's just not good. So that's what really made me want to make this video, to tell you guys like, school's important. You have to study a lot. You have to go to clinicals, you have to go to lecture, you have to go to lab. School is demanding, and you have to put a lot of yourself into it, you know, but don't lose yourself in the process. Make time to hang out with your friends, make time to see your family, or at least talk to them on the phone, you know, make time for yourself, for your own well-being, because you will go crazy if you're just studying every single day, if you're not talking to anyone else unless it's about school, you know, like you will drive yourself mad, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it, you know. So I kind of had to tell myself to chill out. Just try to be kind to yourself. Evaluate your support system. Talk to your family. Like, I'm so glad I had my sister to call because she answered, and she always answers. You know, make sure that you have reliable people around you, because when you get stressed, you can't just bottle it in, you can't just hold it in. And also another thing, like with clinicals, sometimes I would leave clinicals feeling so sad because, like, especially when I was in oncology, it was so hard sometimes, like just being in the room when a patient gets like diagnosed or whatever, just like witnessing that, sometimes it can be so heavy and so hard to deal with. So make sure that you just have that you kind of, my professor said this, and I know it's super hard, and I know it's even worse when you're an actual nurse, like I'm just talking about clinicals, but you kind of have to leave those things at work. Like you can't bring all that heaviness and all that like heartache and all that sadness because your patient died or your patient got diagnosed with cancer or whatever. You can't bring that home with you because that's not good for your well-being, you know? So you kind of have to find a way to separate work and home, even though it is so hard. I know it kind of sounds not realistic when I say it, because I know that I've come home and felt like so sad for these people, but it's not something for us to carry around, you know, like it's not our burden to carry around, because that's not good. That's not healthy for us either as healthcare providers, you know. But yeah, I I feel like I was just rambling. So yeah, try to reduce your anxiety and stress, be prepared, time management, break up your large to-do list, you know, into more attainable tasks so that you can check them off. Work, school, life balance, support system, and then for staying motivated, you have to find your reason to stay motivated. I can tell you mine, but it's different for everyone, you know, like when you feel like you want to give up, you need to ask yourself why you're doing this in the first place. And your reason shouldn't be something like money, you know, it should be something that's actually gonna keep you motivated. Like, I've always known that I wanted to work in healthcare for many reasons. I love helping people and I want to help sick people, you know. That's why I want to be a nurse. I want to help them, I want to care for them, and I know that I have the heart for it. I know that I'm going to make a great nurse because I'm so, you know, compassionate and empathetic. So when I want to quit, I just think about why I'm doing this. Like, I can't quit. I just think about my why, and that's what keeps me going. So when you want to quit, you need to think about your why. You need to think about why you started, why you wanted to get into this. And if your reason isn't good enough, maybe it's not for you, you know. Maybe you're doing it for other people, like your family, or for material things like money or status. But it has to be more than that. Like, if you're literally in nursing school, sacrificing so much time that you could be having fun, instead you're studying. If you're in medical school, sacrificing so many years, you know, for medicine. But if it's not for a good reason, if it's not your reason, then you're not gonna want to do it. You're not gonna stay motivated, you know. So just think about your why, think about why you want to do it, and that will keep you going, you know. Like, I know I want to be a nurse, and I also know that I want to be successful, and there's so many different things you can do with nursing. There's not just bedside, you know, there's so many options, and I can't quit. I can't fail. Like, it's just not an option. So I challenge everyone to think about their why, and if you want to, definitely share your why down in the comment, why you wanted to get into healthcare. I really hope that this video helped at least one person. That's all I need to know, you know, that I put it up for a reason. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble and just talk on, and I hope it made sense. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always.